Welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Pete Quinnell. Brock Lesnar is set to take on Cody Rhodes at this year's SummerSlam, currently promoted as a singles match, though reports indicate it'll most likely be a stipulation match by the time the show actually rolls around. I'm still going to vote for a dog collar match. Lesnar's been something of a Mr. SummerSlam over the years, main eventing a bunch of them against people like Triple H, Undertaker, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, but not CM Punk, obviously, can't have him in the main event. It all started though back in 2002 when Brock won the WWE Championship from The Rock just 126 days after debuting in the company at SummerSlam. But this apparently was not the original plan, and instead that title win was originally going to be saved for the following year's WrestleMania. This comes from Paul Heyman, who was interviewed by Rick Rubin, where he said, "There was a question of do we debut on Mania? And the decision was made, no, start in the day after Mania and let his first Mania be in the main event a year later." And that was supposed to be for the title, but we fast-tracked that, we got the title on, and by SummerSlam, we were just moving, and Dwayne Johnson was going off to Hollywood, so just the timing was perfect for us. And Steve Austin had left, so it was, wow, we're going to anoint the next big thing. Though it wasn't his first title win by that point, Lesnar would go on to beat Kurt Angle for the belt at WrestleMania 19 anyway. And the rest, as they say, is history. Over in AEW though, it was blood and guts last night, which Ollie will have a review of here shortly. Before last weekend's episode of Collision though, there was reportedly a talent meeting in AEW. This comes from Fightful Select, who also note that the meeting was led by none other than Pepsi Phil himself, CM Punk. The meeting reportedly was just for talent who regularly appear on Collision, and not those on Dynamite, furthering that soft brand split in the company. The meeting was reportedly about how Collision had differentiated itself from Dynamite, and what a good thing that was, and what they can do to help foster that feeling, including things like match finishes, shenanigans, and the like. There were also other subjects reportedly covered, like the new safety guidelines from the company, and working on promoting other AEW projects more, especially Fight Forever. But something that doesn't need promoting more, from the looks of it, Success, is NXT, featuring the still hilarious and still brilliant move of having Dominic Mysterio win the North American Championship. This week's NXT sure got people talking, and sure seems to have got people watching too, as the show drew an average of 746,000 viewers, with the Dominic versus Lee match specifically drawing well, averaging 844,000 viewers across its peak quarter hour. And for those wondering, Judgment Day is reportedly slated to keep appearing on NXT going forward. Dom isn't just going to hijack the title and take it to Raw. This is reported by PW Insider Elite, who say that Judgment Day is expected to appear regularly on NXT for at least the next month, past the Great American Bash show. Dom is a draw. And now a message from this video's sponsor, Pete! Oh, hi, Ollie, what's up?
The time has come.
That sounds ominous. Time for what?
I'm gonna rename the company.
This isn't some convoluted way to promote Surfshark, is it?
Well, Pete, this is a serious business decision I'm taking.
Okay, what's the company being renamed to?
Krausfers.
What?
Krausfers.
I thought you'd choose some 3-word name so you could shorten it down to a really cool 3-letter initialism.
Those days are long behind me, Pete. Now it's all about Krausfers.
How do you even spell that anyways?
K-R-A-H-S.
Wait, there's an H in there?
Of course there's an H in there.
Wait, does that just spell Surfshark backwards?
Yeah, it does! Surfshark VPN is an online tool that keeps you safe wherever you browse by masking your important information, which means you can check sensitive stuff like your bank account even on public Wi-Fi. Surfshark keeps your location and download history private and encrypted, meaning you can send or receive files securely too, like my ongoing spreadsheet of 3-letter acronyms for the company. But on top of that, Surfshark also allows you access to any of 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, allowing you to fool your phone, laptop, or tablet into thinking you're in a different country, meaning you Americans can still get the old WWE network. I love you, superior search function! If you click the link in the description down below or visit surfshark.deals/WrestleTalk, you can get 83% off plus 3 months for free when you use the code WrestleTalk on checkout. That's surfshark.deals/WrestleTalk and use the promo code WrestleTalk for 83% off and 3 months for free.
We're not actually changing the name of the company to Krausfers, are we?
No, we're not. No, I just needed more time to come up with some 3-letter words.
Of course you did.
Well, I've got another 3 initials for you, Pete. AEW. You like those initials, Pete?
Yeah.
Because here's my review of Shark Week presents Blood and Guts AEW Dynamite. Blood and Guts presented by Shark Week. In about 5 minutes. The show opened on Jungle Boy's Tarzan Boy entrance music playing for his FTW title match against Hook, when it suddenly all dropped to black, cutting to a video of Jack Perry digging a grave in the desert, which is like the second time he's had a grave-digging vignette. He's had more grave-digging vignettes than AEW's resident goth, Darby Allin. He was, of course, burying his old gimmick. Luckily, he didn't need to dig much, as the MJF feud booking did most of the burying for him, and he then debuted his new music, Beethoven's chart-topping classic Symphony No. 5. Try singing along with that lyricless concert music for a heel, you marks. Oh yeah, you already do that for Gunther. I was very curious to see how Perry would perform in the ring, as I don't think he's ever worked as a heel before. Thankfully, he did it really well, not just getting himself booed with multiple cheating spots, but getting Hook cheered more with pacing and one awesome German suplex no-sell. After a visual pin though, Jungle Boy became the new FTW champion, aptly using the title belt behind the referee's back. It's the right decision given his gimmick change and perfect for his long-term character arc. After Christian and MJF told him to cheat, and he finally does, and he wins his first singles belt. But it does come at the expense of Hook's years-long undefeated streak, which feels a bit lost in all of this. Britt Baker squashed Kayla Sparks, tapping her out in a lockjaw. Squash matches are really effective if there's some momentum there, but this feels like filler for Baker. You might say, a filling, rather than building her for something. She's felt quite directionless for a while. You want direction? Asks AEW. Well then here's all the directions for about 9 different wrestlers, belts and storylines in one seamlessly integrated segment. Firstly, we had the latest brilliant installment in the Adam Cole and MJF bromance skits. Cole wanted Max to face his ultimate fear. No, not poor people, like MJF said, but eating spicy food. Cue some excellent comedic acting from both men, particularly Cole getting more free from his straight man role, reacting to the spicy food, then washing down the burn with what they thought was water, but was actually 100% alcohol. Why was that even an option? They drunkenly bonded more and were shown running towards a waiter with the double clothesline, but not shown actually hitting it to end the skit. This expertly built their tag team tournament final against Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara, who had their own storylines spinning, with Chris Jericho joining commentary and the future of the JAS in doubt. The crowd popped huge for MJF and Cole as babyfaces, particularly when they entered in matching attire and, as a friendly surprise from Cole, mash-up entrance music. It's like the fans have always wanted to secretly cheer Max, maybe because he's actually quite a tragic character and people have empathy for that, and him clicking with Cole has genuinely made them the most over act in the company. That level of fan investment meant they could push the boundaries of what you could get away with on an in-ring focused pro wrestling show. They had a full-on dance-off. Max did the headbutt bump into Sammy's dick, the continued teasing of one of the simplest moves, the double clothesline. It was the perfect balance of sports entertainment. They're tweeners, you can put them against anyone. Give me Cole and Max versus Team TNA. MJF and Cole eventually won with the double clothesline, of course they did, and the crowd exploded. So Jericho immediately tried to make it all about him. I'm being glib. It was well done, multi-layered storytelling as Garcia and Guevara walked out past Jericho. But the stories aren't done there. Cole then picked up Max's world title to hand it to him, but looked at it just a little too long. Cole holding the belt to Max was what Hogan holding up Miss Elizabeth was to Randy Savage, a deeply possessive man showing the first signs of self-destructive jealousy. Max shoved him, but then they did hug it out in a great tease of things to come. But before then, winning this match also gives Max and Cole shots at the AEW Tag Team titles. FTR came down for a stare down, but this is a collision to end the segment. An incredible amount was accomplished here. If pro wrestling is all about getting you to want to see a match, then this is textbook booking, as there's now about 19 different matches I can't wait to see. And that was all just in the first hour, as the second hour was entirely taken up by Blood and Guts presented by Shark Week. It had literal blood. It had metaphorical guts. But goddammit, I did not see a single shark in that cage. False advertising, Tony! False advertising! The match was a magnificent spectacle of hardcore wrestling that somehow also felt safer and more contained than previous years. Can't believe I'm going to say this, but a match with a bed of nails? How does Mox even smuggle that in? And shards of glass kept me the right side of kayfabe invested. I can enjoy the violence without the spell being occasionally broken by genuine concern for the wrestler's safety. The amount of storyline storyline context likely helped, with almost every combination of the Blackpool Combat Club and the Golden Elite teams having years of history. Hangman teaming with Omega, Pac and Kenny, Mox and Hangman, Takeshita and Omega. There were a few suboptimal points. I felt like the much-hyped Ibushi debut got lost in the shuffle. It didn't do a great deal, and I found myself far more invested in the AEW-specific relationships like Omega and Hangman over his inclusion. The setup for the finish of Pac walking out on the BCC after frequently clashing with Claudio felt more angle-driven than character-based, with AEW likely needing to book an ROH title challenger for Friday, along with the Bryan Danielson injury that necessitated Pac. And while the actual finish had unexpected, incredible heart, a handcuffed Mox throwing in the towel to save Wheeler Yuta being choked to death because he's arguably toxically conditioned his protege to never give up, and Mox himself had previously tapped to a Hangman chain choke, the cameras missed it, meaning we only heard about it from commentary, and the moment's power was significantly decreased. Still, the match was fantastic. I could just keep listing spots. Pac swinging stomp off the cage ceiling through a table, Matt and Yuta on the top of the cage, the 5 simultaneous submissions, Callis calling Takeshita to leave because he saw their game was up. Ultimately, it's a terrific end for what's been a brilliant BCC versus Elite feud. AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts, presented by Shark Cage, is amongst the best episodes they've ever done for me at 95%. But is it better than Dominic Mysterio winning his first singles title? Watch on to find out. The second time he's had a grave-digging vignette. He's had more grave-digging vignettes. Vignette.